Nice to. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me. We appreciate it. Good job. Welcome, brother. I got you. Welcome.
Hey, my screen is frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I think I might have a glitch because can you see me?
No, I can't see. It still says joining. You're about to join.
Dude, I have no idea. Let me drop and come back, my friend.
Guys, welcome. We are about to start the live. Thank you for joining me. Welcome again. I hope this time it works. Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Welcome.
Okay,
can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, can you see me?
Oh, yes, I see you.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Your screen is black, but the show is on. It's all cool. All right, let me let everybody in the Discord know that we're live and on. Does this record lives? I'm unfamiliar with this platform.
Yeah, it's going to be recorded. I'm just wondering that I've hooked up a Bluetooth and the Bluetooth is not working. Why?
You know, I had the same problem. I just took my Bluetooth off. Yeah, my Bluetooth wasn't working.
I have a Bluetooth. I'm trying to get the speaker because I need a louder voice. Yeah, lots of people from Russia started to join me. A lot of people, bro. You're going to be live everywhere.
All right.
Let me see if I can hear you on this other screen.
Well, technical difficulties aside, because people don't want to sit here and listen to our technical difficulties. How you doing, my buddy? I was going to talk about Epstein and all the stuff that was black, but the show is on. It's all cool.
My second phone works good.
Wakhi People International.
You hear that?
Yep. Well, technical difficulties aside, because people don't want to sit here and listen to our technical difficulties. How you doing, my buddy? I was going to talk about Epstein and all the stuff that was black, but the show is on. It's all cool.
My second phone works good. Okay. One thing, because me and you, we have to have our voice. Picture is good. We are good on the picture. Somebody says that I can see both very clearly. Awesome. Can you hear us? Can you hear our voice?
I see 3 messages in the chat room, and they're all 3 are mine.
Yeah, I'm just asking the viewer if you can tell us that, can you hear Erik Warsaw? His sound to me is very low.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Technical. Both are clear. Hello, Carolina.
Erik, how about if I ask you to, if we can talk, we can leave this on. Can we talk on the Discord, me and you?
You can send me messages, but I mean, we have someone watching, and
Can we do voice on the Discord by any chance? Hello, everyone.
I mean, how can I talk with you and do the show at the same time?
You don't have a phone on your laptop?
I do, but
On Discord.
how we're gonna do a live show and talk on the phone at the same time, my friend? Because then we're instantly pausing the show to talk on the side.
Brothers,
I don't
can
think
you hear us? Can you hear
courtside.
Eric?
I don't think we're ready for this right now, are we?
We are ready if you just give me the thumbs up. Can
Thumbs
I
up,
call
let's
you
roll.
on the Discord on the voice?
I mean, what do you want to say to me? Yeah, here, I'll put the video on right now.
No,
What's
not the
up?
video.
All right, here,
Not the
audio.
video,
Yeah,
the voice.
audio. Yeah, audio.
Can you do the audio?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do the audio here. Guys, can you just give us a clearance? Can everyone hear us?
It's gonna have a big giant. It's gonna have a big giant loop of sound if we have both audios on at the same time through the Discord and this.
Cool. Eric, people are saying they can hear both of us clearly.
Yeah, we're fine, bud. Roll with it.
Okay. What I'm going to do, I will start with my questions. Well, Eric, I welcome you on my live show. People are watching you from Russia, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Iran, and Pakistan, and many other parts of the world. I would like to ask you to please introduce yourself and give us some background about your education, and then we
My
can go from there.
background. I'll be happy to give my background. My
No, people want to
education.
know your first time in my life.
Oh yeah. I didn't finish high school. How's that for my education? I did not finish high school. I was a screw up when I was a kid, but I read 1 million books, and I'm really good with people. Yeah, I've read an absurd amount of books in my life. I read like economic books, political books, and everything like that. That's why I came into this so well, like known. I knew what a Palestinian was quite a few years ago, and I first found out about all this stuff about like 15 years ago, and I started studying the hell out of this particular topic about 15. Like, what the hell is Zionism? And how is it that I spent my like first 2.5 decades on this planet, and I had there's a group of people ruling over our media and our Congress and absolutely everything that's never mentioned in our schools or nothing. So I just like started studying this out of like the biggest curiosity in the world. It's like, dude, there's a secret group of people running our media and our government behind the scenes. And so I started just studying that like whenever I had a chance, just out of curiosity. Thank you, Karen. And so I got to where I am today. I started, and then in my late 20s, I also found out, started with World War II. I read a book. It was a pro-Zio book. It was pro-Zio, and it was kind of racist against Germans for real. So it was a pro-Zio book, but I started talking about World War II in ways that I never heard of before. It was talking about it questioned it started talking about the Holocaust and stuff like that. But I'm like, I've never read this in any other books. So I started to read like history books from that time, not history books that's been through the American propaganda machine. And I was like, holy crap, they lied to us about World War One. They lied to us about the Russian Revolution. They lied to us about World War II. They lied to us about the Iraq War. Um, and all this crazy shit. And I even found it for example, the protocols of the elders of Zionism. When the Russians tried to fight Zionism 120 years ago, and they're sad failures. Henry Ford tried to warn everybody. If you went and bought a Ford car back in 1920s at the car dealership, or after you bought the car, to be in the glove box, a copy of a booklet explaining, guys, there's a bunch of Jays who are some supremacy stuff taking over the banks and everything. So I was finding out all this stuff, and I'm like, holy guys, there's a whole other version of history that is just, it's amazing. It was kind of like mind blowing. So I just became, I studied everything. Then when all this stuff happened, I had an outlet where I could just explode out there and just start talking about it, and everybody started and I was rolling hard. Guys, when I first started this shit, I was doing like an average of 9 hours a day live shows. That was my initial average live shows per day, like every single day for months. And I thought, like, you know, no one knew this was going to be the event that changed the world. I just thought, like, October 7th would happen. The IDF would blow up Gaza for a few days, and then it would all stop, and it would sweep everything under the rug and would keep it all rolling again. But no, that wasn't the case, man. They kept this rolling clusterfuck going. They turned a small attack into a genocide, and it was all crazy, man. But I've been studying this stuff for a long time, just out of the freaking sheer curiosity of it. Oh, and everybody, look. Man, when I'm boycotting the big name brands, I'm buying store brand, market basket freaking juice. Saving money too. Why spend $3? Just pay $1. Yeah, Carolina said it changed everything for me too. Dude, it changed everybody. Like for real. How many personal lives here in America has it changed? Like it woke up. Like we don't look at our government the same. We don't look at the world the same. Nobody knew what a Palestinian was 2 years ago. No one knew what a freaking Zionist was 2 years ago. And they're like, hey, wait a second. Zionism is something, and then it also controls our media and our Congress. What the fuck is this? I mean, it's just mind blowing. And it's like we're watching because it's you know, there's a genocide going on, but out of our own self curiosity too. It's like, dude, how the fuck did I grow up my entire life in America not seeing something that was underneath my nose the entire time? Everybody in the media, it's not just that Jews run the media. They're all the actors and everything. It's like, dude, what the, like Harrison Ford, J. Scarlett Johansson, a J. You know, the creators of South Park, Jerry Springer, Howard Stern, like what the hell? This was always in front of my face and never even realized it. It's just, like, it's mind-blowing. It is freaking mind-blowing how brainwashed we all were. Go ahead. I took it away on that one. Go ahead, my friend. Any other question?
Eric, first of all, thank you for bringing me all your fans over here. And I do appreciate that. This is also a pro-Palestinian Facebook page. If you guys do not know, I am from the northern part of a disputed territory called Gilgit-Baltistan. So we are here to work together with the movement. Erik Warsaw is our first guest, and this is the first episode on Wakhi TV International. I thank you all for joining, and let's continue the movement. Let's talk openly. There's no code word. There's no TikTok model here. You're open to discuss anything on my panel. There's no restrictions. Feel free. Erik, you can tell us whatever you want. So guys, whoever is here, just remember that Erik Warsaw is a person with a good heart standing for the cause of Palestine. Not many people know Erik, but here's a man who is a Christian by religion, and he's a person resident of Boston, United States. And this is the man, this is the voice for the people of oppressed region across the world. Thank you, Erik. I hope people are listening and they're hearing your voice. I hope you're hearing me. Erik,
Yep.
I have to start with a question, sir. Can you tell me, was October 7th attack a result of Israel's failed intelligence and internal security system?
You know what? While we're on the show, there's a bunch of things I would like to talk about that we're not allowed to talk on TikTok. I'll give a real quick answer to that one. And then I would love, there's a whole bunch of other topics I'd like to hit up real quick. But as far as that one in particular, guys, we now know, it's pretty much confirmed, Israel knew about the attack before it happened. They failed to stop it because they wanted it to happen. And then, guys, if there's ever an attack in Israel, they can they have the ability to scramble helicopters, military, everything. And they intentionally drag their feet for about 6 to 8 hours, depending on sources. Okay, so they're doing this shit on purpose, man. And so they wanted October 7th to happen so they had an excuse to go commit an act of genocide and take over the land. Now, let's talk about some shit that we're not allowed to talk about, specifically Jeffrey Epstein. Guys, it just came out today, like Speaker Mike Johnson in Congress is stopping, like he's willing to postpone and shut down Congress for like a break session just to postpone and avoid having a vote on forcing the Jeffrey Epstein files to come out. I don't know what type of freaking compromise they have on Donald Trump. But guys, just the fact that there is a pedophile ring in the American government is fucking insane. Think about it, it's not just that they like every country has honey traps. America has honey traps. Russia, China has honey traps. If some important people go to foreign countries, they will be met with a woman who is a professional prostitute, like trained in the art of seduction, to go and compromise that politician, get pictures, get them to cheat on their wife, whatever. All countries do this, but no one does a freaking underage girl honey trap. They don't. That's like an Israeli thing. But it's not just shame on Israel. It's shame on any freaking politician who would even fall for something like that. Like, dude, any normal man, if you present to them like a freaking underage girl, they're not going to go for it. That's some sick stuff, man. That's not normal for an average adult male to have relations or want to have relations with a 16-year-old girl, especially if they're married. So the fact that all these married men were messing around with underage girls makes me like, dude, they disgust me. These are not politicians. These are the people who are in charge of our fucking country. Like, how does something like this even go along? Like, for real, isn't there a point where Jeffrey Epstein approached somebody and they're like, holy crap, this guy's presenting underage girls? Let me go and call the fucking FBI or call the police. Why wasn't this man stopped before? Like, dude, think of the process. And how messed up is this person to go around even like giving that option to world leaders. Like, could you really imagine being somebody and approaching Bill Clinton or the freaking Andrew or Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, the former prince? He was disowned by his family. Could you imagine any of that happening? And then, like, you're approaching a world leader with an underage girl and trying to get that to happen. Like, dude, really? Like, you had the audacity to even try this shit is amazing. So they had to go and get all these underage girls, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. They went and they tricked a whole bunch of girls into this shit, like into being their little, it takes a lot of brainwash. It does. Some of the stuff that they were doing, like while they were in Florida, they would promise these young girls a ton of money. They'd promise them a ton of money. Hey, you come along, you have sex with these people, then you'd get paid a ton of money. And so they kept these girls coming back, and they returned to their parents the same night. Unfortunately, that's just the tricks that they were freaking pulling on. And a lot of these girls were in high school. And there was one girl in particular, she tricked a whole bunch of her own high school friends, because that's how they also recruited. They used the girls to recruit other girls. And there was this one girl in Florida. She went back to her high school, which she belonged to, and found some of her other high school friends to go and take money for sex with adult men. And she felt so bad because she's young. She doesn't understand what the fuck she's doing, even if she's doing it. And I think the number was like $300 every time. You get paid $300 every time. So she ended up tricking a whole bunch of her friends into being Jeffrey Epstein victims. And she felt so bad about it afterwards. She spoke about it, and a lot of evil harassment went her way, which she kind of deserved. But she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. It's just one big, sad, messed up situation. And Virginia Roberts, Virginia Goff Roberts, the girl who committed suicide, allegedly committed suicide. I don't know if she committed suicide or not. I'd say likely it is possible, because for real, she's so messed up in the head after being years of being raped by politicians, holy fuck, that she probably might have committed suicide. But then again, the Mossad had an incentive to help her with the suicide anyway because she knew too much. But even she said, like, she was free to leave the Jeffrey Epstein mansion. She was free to leave, but she would even write, like, it's a different life, they were being pushed to have sex with these big celebrities, but she got to meet Bill Clinton, the Prince of England, and all sorts of crazy shit. And they were always on airplane trips to the islands and on a big giant jumbo airplane, private jet. They had tons of money, tons of everything. Jeffrey Epstein gave everything to them, and he was brainwashing them. And he was telling, like, oh, this is what life is like and shit like that. And I hear the same out of a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of people who are being victims of sex trafficking in America or anywhere else. They'll get them hooked on drugs and they turn them into prostitutes. They trick them into being prostitutes. And they tell them, like, oh, this is the real life. This is what real life is like, and blah, 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 blah. It's sad. It's a vicious, fucked up cycle. And some of these girls have a lot of guilt that they're carrying along with them. It's not their fault. They're too young. They were tricked into this shit. But I mean, that's the stuff that was going on in that case. There's a lot of little girls involved in that. A lot. And Virginia Roberts, Virginia, remember, this dude was running this shit for like, how long was he running this shit? Over a decade. Virginia Roberts, she said, I think she started when she was 15, 16, 17 years old. When she turned 18 years old, she said that they didn't want her anymore. They didn't want her anymore. She was too old. The politicians that were having sex with these underage girls, they didn't find her attractive anymore when she turned 18. I guess what, the thrill is gone or something. It's not exciting unless it's illegal. I don't know. These people are some sick bastards. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, freaking half of Hollywood apparently. If you've seen this freaking client list, it's freaking it's a shitload of top name actors, a ton of top name actors in Hollywood. And not just it's also mind blowing. Like, dude, they were running this fucking operation for so long. You had all these loose ends. You were dealing with so many dozens and dozens and dozens of girls that they raped. And it's like they weren't even scared of the cops or nothing. And like, dude, people talk. Mind blowing, mind blowing. The audacity on the Israeli side of things. So I don't know, man. It's terrible. It's evil. It's sick. And Jeffrey Epstein's not even the only one. Epstein's not the only one. There's a guy named Salman Melgen doing the same shit. Salman Melgen got caught. Look at the famous case of Salman Melgen and Robert Menendez. Yeah, Amanda. Robert Menendez. Look this shit up. Robert Menendez. I remember I found out Salman Melgen through so Salman Melgen put Senator from New Jersey, Senator of New Jersey, Robert Menendez, he put him on a private airplane to the Dominican Republic, where on the side of that island, they had a resort and they were using underage girls. And one of the girls even came, she was like 14, 15. There was a journalist, when they heard the story, like, oh, we have no proof of any of the girls. One journalist decided to drive all the way, to fly all the way to the Dominican Republic, found one of the victims and got her to talk and saying, like, yeah, I think she was 15 or 15, 16 year old when she gave the interview, but she said, I think she was molesting him when, whatever. But Robert Menendez was a U.S. senator in U.S. Congress in Washington, D.C., representing the state of New Jersey. And he got busted with this shit. And it was a kind of a big scandal, which they kind of brushed under the thing really quick. The Salman Melgen, the Jewish guy, the Zionist, who set up everything and was bribing him, he ended up getting busted. They didn't put him under a sex offender charge. They gave him a different charge. And he was going to serve like most of his life in prison, but then he got a presidential pardon. Dude, how the fuck do you get a presidential pardon? from the damn president when you're a freaking pedophile and all this crazy shit. Dude, because he worked intelligence. And if you try and look up Salman Melgen on the internet, you will find stuff on him. You can find stuff, but it's very, very limited, and some of it's deflected. So what group in America runs pedophile rings, has access to the president to give presidential pardons, and has the ability to edit and misdirect people on Google? Only the Zios. And the guy is a Jay Zio. I mean, freaking unreal. I mean, how the fuck is like any of this even happening, man? It goes to show you the level of corruption in our government and how many people are standing up. The fact that Donald Trump came out and said, I can't believe he says there is the Department of Justice, the FBI and everything. They came out and said there is no Jeffrey Epstein client list, and they said Trump is out there saying it's a hoax. Just like the Mueller report and everything like that. It's a hoax. Like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? Big awakening, man. It's for real. As low as I thought of our own government, it's like every single month they have a way for me to look at them even lower and lower and lower. Carolina says, so who's supposed to protect the kids if everyone's involved in protecting these monsters? Exactly. When injustice becomes law, because they have laws protecting these evil monsters. When injustice becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. But when genocide becomes the law, when there's laws protecting genocide and famine, now rebellion becomes survival. It's not like we're doing this out of duty or anything. Now it's like survival. It's like we have to.
So Eric, how did this monster pass through and become a president?
It's a choice between two monsters every goddamn time. Donald Trump was promising that he would get a ceasefire. Kamala Harris was promising she would keep the genocide going. I mean, there wasn't much to choose from. It's either you go for a promise that may or may not be real, or Kamala Harris is just gonna freaking unalive everybody. I mean, dude, Kamala Harris would not even for votes. She would not even pretend that, which is disturbing as hell. Like, why don't you just lie to the public and say you'll get a ceasefire too for votes? Like, dude, she would not even pretend to get a ceasefire. She just promised to keep the same policies in place. Like, really? And then look what we had before. When Donald Trump first ran against Hillary Clinton, you remember what the media said? Oh, he has a lot of negatives. He has a lot of high negatives in polling. Do you know what polling data actually showed? Hillary Clinton had about the same amount of negatives. People didn't like Hillary Clinton. And then when Joe Biden was against Trump, guys, Joe Biden against Trump. Joe Biden's not even home. He had cancer, and his head's not even home, man. And now let's go back in time. Let's go back to remember George Bush versus Al Gore? What the fuck is to choose from? George Bush he's kind of like just your average guy. George Bush is just like your average guy, like some guy you'd meet at a bar. He's not leadership material. He's not presidential material. He doesn't even carry himself, or he doesn't even give that impression. Al Gore is the same way. He's just kind of like he's like just some average guy you'd meet at a college campus. He's kind of smart and stuff like that, but they're not leadership material. They were both just puppets. So every single time we have like the choice between two puppets or two negatives or whatever. So it's like, well, how did this person become look who they were running against. It was a nobody running up against another nobody. The biggest thing Trump had is that like he would go out there and listen to people and try to like give legit, and he halfway tried his promises. Whatever he promised, you'd try and halfway fulfill it. So I mean, Trump's popularity is due that, like, because most politicians don't even listen to the public at all, period. So I mean, he got up there because he half-assed listened to the public and half-assed tried to give it to him. So that was one of the things. But yeah, we are screwed beyond. Dude, it's not just the White House. Let's not look at just the White House guys, right? Because remember, we have a system of checks and balances, and technically, all of Congress is supposed to be just as powerful as the President of the United States in the system of checks and balances, right? Because they can veto him, he can veto them, and blah 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 blah. Last time we had a vote to send money to Israel, the vote was 422 Congress people for sending money to Israel and 6 not. 422 against 6. 98%, literally, 98% of Congress is corrupt and pro-Israel? Holy shit. 98% of Congress is a slave to Israel, where they asked for $500 million and Congress said yes. For what the hell is the $500 million for? Dude, we have some serious systemic problems, and not just Congress, the presidency, the media, our education system, our court system. BlackRock runs our economy. You build an empire, if you build a business empire, let's say you start the next Ford Motor Company, right? You're making the best cars on the fucking planet. Guaranteed, these guys are going to swoop in and buy that shit up from you, from underneath you. You ain't. I mean, you'll get paid and stuff like that, but you're not going to control nothing. Look, who owns Disney? Who owns all the Starbucks, McDonald's, Disney? Go look at what BlackRock owns. It doesn't even make any sense. We're screwed. We need to figure a way out of this.
Eric, when you write your book, why did you write a book, and what exactly is the inside of your book? I didn't read it.
My book that I wrote, that one? Was that you just asking me, my friend? Were you asking me about a different book?
Yes. And what is exactly inside this book you're hiding?
Everything's backwards because of screen. Political science. The book is called Resurgence. The fall.
You're holding
and
it
rise.
upside down. Or
No,
is
it's not. It's not. The camera's not. The camera's not able to flip it. So Resurgence, the fall and
Okay,
rise
what
of
is
America.
inside this?
Huh? So the book is about political science, and dude, because I've spent so many years reading political books that I'm not idealistic. I've read. Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate you. I've read so many years of books, right, of politics that I've studied the right wing and I've studied the left wing, and they both have positives and they both have negatives. And in reality, guys, this is reality from theory to practice, right? A lot of people like to argue about communism, socialism, capitalism. Check this out. So every single freaking economy on the planet is a mixed economy. There is no purely capitalist country. There is no purely communist country. For example, China is supposed to be communist. China has more billionaires in Beijing than the billionaires in New York City. Literally, you can look that up. It is physically impossible for a communist country to have any billionaires whatsoever. So is China really a communist country? No, it's a mixed economy that leans towards, has a slight lean towards communism. America is the big capitalist country of the world, right? America, the big capitalist country. Guys, education system, K through 12 is paid for. We do have we do have a Medicare system. We do have some half-assed medical system. We have welfare system. There's people who get the government pays for their rent. That's socialism. So even in America, we're not 100% capitalist. Every economy is a mixed economy. Now it's right wing, left wing. Guys, there's no completely right wing or left wing government. So everything is in like a balance, you know? And whenever I make decisions, people make decisions like, okay, is this decision socialist? Is it capitalist? Is it right wing? Dude, I don't give a shit. I look at the problem and I will look for a solution that is sometimes it might be left leaning, sometimes it might be right leaning, but I'm very, very results orientated and results evolving. I aim for good results, and that sometimes might be right wing, slightly right, slightly left, but we always have to negotiate and work well with each other. And guys, in most countries, I've said many times, in most countries there is no left wing, right wing. In Russia, China, and Palestine, there is no left wing, right wing. If you meet a Palestinian and say, hey, are you right wing or left wing? Are you a right-wing Palestinian or left-wing Palestinian? No, they're all fucking united. I mean, they might have some differences in opinion on like on abortion or some religious or how the economy should. Who gives a fuck? As long as Palestinians work well with each other, there is no left wing. Left wing, right wing is like an artificial divide. I really believe that's like an artificial divide. I mean, granted, human beings in general, as common human tendencies, we do tend to split apart. We do tend to have an issue and everybody take a side and split apart. But this is more than just a common human digression. I really think that that this common human tendency to divide is exasperated by the Zio-owned media, where they want to sustain a divide and keep everybody divided and arguing because it works in their favor, because they own the right wing and the left wing. And so they want everybody to pick a team, take it to the team, and argue with each other. Like, dude, I have a chat rooms that are left wing and right wing, don't I? There's a mix of people who are right wing. Dude, I don't give a shit if a person's right wing or left wing. I don't care. I don't ask them. You know, if they have some slightly, you can disagree with me, and that's fine. I negotiate with everybody and trying to meet them halfway. So even when people disagree with me, they know that the disagreement is it's it's kind of forgivable because we all disagree on some shit. And obviously, we're not gonna. So it's not like people take it to heart or nothing like that, because we can agree on other things. And if a person that a person is making a decision, not because they're entrenched in right wing, left wing views, but they're making a decision that you don't agree with just because they just have a different perception. So and then that's fine. It kind of takes the edges off stuff, you know, and. And in cases like this too, I really feel like, dude, not to intentionally keep it away from being left wing or right wing. We want both sides, just like APEC, control both sides. We want control over both sides too. We want control over both sides. Do not allow the Zios to have the right wing or left wing. We want to deny them platform, deny them the ability to crawl into the Republicans or crawl into the Democrats, take it over and manipulate shit from there. No base of leverage, no fulcrum, no nothing. Deny them everything. They get nothing.
Sir, can I ask you a question now?
Sure.
Mr. Eric, welcome to the show. We have a lot of people from Russia watching you. Most of the people, it's morning over there. It's like 9 in the morning in Tajikistan, 9 in the morning in Pakistan, 9 in the morning in Afghanistan. Guys, we welcome you all to the live. This is Eric is our guest speaker for the first time on our show, and he brings tons of people, and they're asking a lot of questions. Eric, what do you think that in the long term, the population of America is 333 million. It took you years to understand the black and white. How long the American public, how long will it take them to learn that what is true and what is lies fed to them?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm new to these buttons and stuff too. I wanted to reply to some people in the chat room. How do we know what is lies and what is truth?
Yeah, for the bigger picture, how long will it take for the entire public in American society to learn the black and white, like you talked about Epstein file, and you talked about the politics, left wing, right wing, and everything, whatever we do or what consequences we as a public going through in America, when we will learn that justice is not done with us?
Oh boy. Well, yeah, let me put it this way first. Yeah, I'll start from a different angle. Let me go back to Pilate, the governor Pilate, back in the story of the crucifixion of Jesus. There's a famous quote from Pilate. He was trying to judge between Jesus and the crowd of Jews, and he said, "What is truth?" And that's a problem we have in humanity anyway. Human subjectivity plagues all things. I was once doing a study course, right? And one of the questions on the study course was, can we have an objective view of history? And I was like, yes, obviously we can have an objective view of history. But whenever I make statements, just to say, I still do it nowadays. Whenever I make a statement, whether in a video or on the live show, I show proof. All right, here, this happened. Here's my news article. I show proof. And I made a statement saying, of course we can have an objective view of history. And then I couldn't think of a single bit of proof. History is written by the victors. Can anybody be objective? Theoretically, you'd think so. But man, when you actually try and put the shit in practice, everyone is always telling the story from their own viewpoint, from their own ethnicity, from their own religion, from even their own biases that they grow up in. So the best way to really have objectiveness is to discover both sides and allow both sides to completely give you two different versions of what happened. And it goes back to the old saying, what is truth? Uh, it's the third option. It's what he said, there's what she said, and then there's the truth, the third option. So where does objective truth come from? It's like listening to completely different perspectives and somehow stitching to something together. And man, I've seen so many people, man. It's like people just like reinterpret reality and everything too. Truth is kind of freaking hard to get. In this case right here, you know, there is one group of people's, and you know what's the craziest fucking thing is, you know how the Zios are always claiming to be the victims as they're going around unaliving a bunch of innocent people? This is actually a common human tendency. And the Rwanda genocide, the people committing the genocide were running around saying that, like, you know, we were the victims and they deserve this. And all sorts of shit, man. It's always the same story over and over again. The victimizers are more likely to be running around doing evil shit while claiming themselves the victim. Caroline in the chat room says, truth is but a perspective. Dude, it really is. Whenever you hear people speak on the news, look at how much of their own biases is either intentionally or even unintentionally given into their story. The way they use isms, like, oh, this is such a, you know what's crazy too? Some people will take an event and be like, look at this event that happened. It is the fault of capitalism. Somebody else will see the same event, like, look at the same event. It is the fault of socialism. You know, and it's like, you can really, really alter reality through your own perspective, man. I swear. And listen, something could be, I've seen certain things could be interpreted as capitalism or socialism, just on how it's reworded by the person. Amanda says Propaganda Act of 1934. Look it up. I'm gonna check that out and remind myself to do that. But yeah, human subjectivity plagues all things, and it's freaking amazing how like a lot of people are blaming. God, is it capitalism or socialism that is the fault of the fall of America? Some people will say it's capitalism because all of our politicians sold out. They sold out for money. All right, well that is a digression of capitalism. And then others will point out, well, it's socialism that's the fall of America because it's through the use of government. Because under capitalism, like you're supposed to have small government, stuff like that. So they're like through the use of the government and pushing all these agendas is what fudged stuff up. Yeah, and you know what the reality is? And like I said, you know how all government, like it's mixed economies. It's the same thing here. Whose fault is it? Socialism or it is a mix. Dude, there's so many socialists who are freaking responsible for fucking up America as there are capitalists. It's both of them that's at fault. And so just like as there's countries can have a mix of economies, like, some aspects are capitalist and some aspects are socialist, benefit and blame can fall on both too. Benefit and blame can fall on both too. So our country got fucked up. I wouldn't even go for is it socialism or capitalism? Whatever specific points of flaws happened, I would address every single flaw, discover and address every flaw. Like a business model. Businesses aren't right wing or left wing. What's the problem? What's the freaking solution? What's the specific problem? Specific problem. Foreign governments are bribing our politicians. Okay, boom, we're gonna make it a law. You can't take money from a foreign fucking country. Another one, Epstein. Okay, no more raping kids. I mean, holy shit. So find the problem, address it, and everyone tries to freaking color everything in isms to try and prove their side right. Like, oh, we're gonna have to take this event and put a whole bunch of isms to it, recolor the event so that everybody will vote my way next. Like, dude, yeah, screw all that. Just what's the problem? What's the solution? That's the best way to examine things. Lisa says it's also conditioning. Yes, it is. And for real, there's a lot of people that can't see past isms. They can't see past isms. Like, as soon as labels will stick in your head, labels will alter what you see. Labels do that. If somebody is going to call a terrorist or a racist or an anti-Semite or whatever, most people will not even bother to try to investigate past the label. They see the label and they reinterpret all that person's actions as T-wordism or racism or anti-Semitism. They'll reinterpret all their actions through that lens. Labeling is extremely powerful. And those who control the media control the labels. And if you control the labels, you control perspective. As soon as somebody used to be labeled an anti-Semite, and they're pretty much done. But terrorism, they don't even see, like, as soon as someone gets labeled a terrorist, right? No one even bothers to investigate, like, maybe they had a reason for the action that they did. Maybe they had a fucking reason. They don't even investigate why or everything before, or they just see it as terrorism and it needs to be stopped, and that's it. So labels are extremely, extremely effective. And that's a sad fact. It's too easy to goddamn manipulate the public. You can never allow a foreign country to be in control of your media. You can never allow that, guys. Never allow that. Whatever country you're from. Right now, look, you have all these, the Jays run all our media. From Hispanic media, yeah, they own a Hispanic media, to even black entertainment media and stuff like that. BET is owned by Jays, the Redstone family. Go ahead and look that up. Black people don't even run their own media or nothing. Freaking ridiculous. My friend, is there anything else you wanted to ask me? I appreciate you having me up here, buddy.
Eric, do you think that we as a pro-Palestinian, are we winning?
Okay, I look at it like this, okay? The war is not over yet. In some ways we are winning, and in some ways we are lacking. The ways that we are winning, we're waking people up like fucking crazy, guys. We are waking people up like crazy. And some of the ways that we're losing, well, here's other ways that we're winning. Guys, the Zios in charge, they are suffering and they're fucking scared. They've been fleeing Israel and everything to Cyprus, but even here in America, it's all messed up for them. In ways that we're losing, we failed to dislodge a single person from the media, from AIPAC, from any of those controls. Like, dude, we got nobody fired from AIPAC. Nobody fired from freaking, from the media or anything. So we've only replaced puppets with other puppets. But at the same time, too, like Mahmoud Khalil. Remember how Mahmoud Khalil was arrested for speaking against Israel in America? Dude, he was released. That's a W. And remember how they were arresting people in America for speaking up against Israel for weeks. We bitched and complained so hard and rolled so hard on it. They released every single person. Not a single person was deported, guys. We won that. I'm actually surprised at that. I am surprised. And when they fail to suppress us and squash us through the court system, even Steve-O won his freaking his court case today, guys. That's huge. Because if we were losing these things, it would make it harder to protest. A lot more people would be scared. So that's a victory. They are trying to suppress our speech and failing miserably. That's awesome. In ways that we're in some ways that we're winning, expand on. In the ways that we're losing, we need to identify the ways in which we are losing, focus on them, and find solutions into flipping that over. Lisa says Palestine has awoken the world to injustice. It sure has. Karen Steele says, is rat hell can never get the world population support again? That's true. Carolina says, got to be up early. Good night. Good night, Carolina. Lisa says, we've been brainwashed, Eric. There's been an awakening and it's happening. Yep. And that's another thing. So Israel kind of dug itself into a freaking, how the hell is Israel ever going to get out of this? How are they ever going to get out of this? Their reputation is permanently screwed. However, they've been through worse. After the Russian Revolution and during the gulags, dude, everybody hated the Jays. They hated the Zios. They couldn't stand them. And then Mustache Man rose to power. And then Mustache Man lost, and people were even more pissed at the Zios. Because a lot of people felt that the Zionists were the bad guys and the Germans were the good guys in World War II. And so when the Jews won World War II, when the Zionists, Jay supremacists won World War II, people were fudging pissed. And they came back from that, didn't they? Social media, because of social media, it's different now. They can't control the narrative. They can't brainwash the next generation like they could now. But they're slowly trying to take over the media. So it's an uphill battle for them, but they've been through worse and they've won against worse. So we will see. We will see. We hope for the best, and we keep fighting the evil enemy. Lisa says, W. Steve-O. Yeah, W. Steve-O. And guys, Lisa also mentioned the United Kingdom. Guys, they haven't done it yet in America. But if you say something against Zios in Germany and England, you will go to prison. The shit that we talk about on a day-to-day basis on our show, you can get 2 to 5 years in prison in Germany for it. For real. So they can suppress us. Anything else, my friend? Appreciate you.
So, Eric, why is that you are standing with Palestinian? Why are you standing with Palestinian? Why? What's the reason? Because your energy is getting wasted. 22 months, you've been doing your best, but everybody is blaming America for it. So why would you as an American stand for Palestinian people for justice?
A lot of people are against this shit. I'm Eastern European too. We've hated the Zios for freaking ever. Remember when the Protocols of the Elders of Zionism came out in Russia, 1906. Guys, that was 119 years ago. 119 years ago, the Eastern European people were fighting hard against these mother truckers. And they put a whole bunch of our people in the gulags. And no one gave a shit about it, did they? 40 to 66 million people perished under the Jewish supremacy in the Gulag system, and nobody batted an eyelash. We've been fighting them forever, man. They're also my arch nemesis too. So does that answer your question, my friend? Buddy, you have your mic. Oh, there you go.
When are you going to travel to overseas, and how many countries have you visited yourself, and what is your first country or Islamic country you will be visiting in the coming future?
Ooh, when Palestine's free, of course, Palestine will be first on the list. Where else in the Middle East would I like to go? Guys, you know what? Here's my short list. I would really like to go to Iran. I would really like to go to Yemen, and I would really like to go and see the hero group of Lebanon. Yeah, Amanda, that's true and very sad. So Yemen, Iran, Palestine, of course, but that's like almost a given. So Palestine first. Yemen, Iran, and also I'd like to visit Lebanon. That'd be kind of cool.
You forgot about Lebanon, and then maybe the last will be Pakistan. Lebanon.
Pakistan is. I don't think Pakistan is considered part of the Middle East. Isn't that considered South Central Asia?
Yes, correct.
Right? Where is that considered? I think it's considered Asia.
Asia.
Pakistan, if I remember correctly.
We are Asia, but what about Lebanon? You forgot about Lebanon, man.
No, I said Lebanon. The hero group of Lebanon, the Hezbollah. I can say it now, right? Hezbollah, the Hezbollah of Lebanon. That where they control. I like to see because Nasrallah was a freaking hero. Lisa, where are you? Where are you asking me from? Lisa Andreo. It depends on where you're at, Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa must be in Vladimir Putin's country.
Oh yeah, but that's not the Middle East. I'd like to visit. Oh, freaking for Europe. Where I'd like to visit in Europe. I mean, I'd like to go to Poland. I'd like to go to Russia. There's a whole bunch of places. I'd like to go to Germany at the freaking head of an army so I could freaking decapitate the freaking snake that is Zionism that controls the German government, the French government, the British government. Take them all the freaking hell way down, man. Save all these countries, all the Zog countries, the Zionist-occupied governments. I'd love to save all of them. That includes Saudi Arabia, Germany, England, Lebanon, because they have Joseph Aoun in there now, Egypt, America, Canada, Mexico, Australia, El Salvador, Argentina. What else is there? I know I'm missing a whole bunch. Ukraine. How the fudge I forget Ukraine? Lebanon, Jordan. These are all freaking owned by, and now Syria, sadly, are now owned and run by Zios. Effing crazy, man. Why the fuck do they have Argentina? El Salvador. Why would you bother taking over El Salvador? What the hell purpose is it? They just done some world domination shit, man. Really? Cyprus. Yeah, Cyprus. They're trying to take over Cyprus. They just done some world domination shit. Like, dude, a country that's in the Middle East, like, yeah, we need to take over El Salvador, or right there in the middle of South America. What the fuck for? What's over there for you? Yeah, they just want a puppet in every single government. Anything else, my friend?
Yeah, Eric, I know that Israel is going to take over Syria. So why are you not going to go to Syria? Because Israel will take over, and it's already Israel now, Syria.
Well, no, this is okay. So this is what it looks like their plans are for Syria, right? Is that they're going to occupy the Golem Heights and everything like that, but they're intentionally going to leave an area for the Druze, not for Druze self-interest, but for their own self-interest, because it acts as a big giant buffer zone. So if anybody ever wants to go to them, they have to go through and destroy the Druze first. And so they're going to intentionally keep Syria destabilized, keep the Golem Heights, because the defensive, the physical defensive, naturally defensive, like military gift it gives them for having that big giant mountain range. It's a natural defense. And they're going to keep everything destabilized, keep a buffer zone, and keep it rolling like that until they find more and more excuses to have Arabs attack other Arabs and keep attacking Arabs themselves through the air. It's all strategy. They're trying to wipe out the entire fucking Middle East, man. These people are just crazy. And you know what's also crazy? Guys, here's something we can't talk about. The COVID vaccine. The fact that there's that's not the only, the Wuhan is not the only place on this planet where they're developing and experimenting with biological weapons that could spread. That's not the only place. There's places in Ukraine. They have these bioweapon facilities in Ukraine too. Now, why do you have it in Ukraine? Why why isn't it in America or Israel? Just in case the shit freaking gets out of control. If it ever gets out of control, you know what they can do? Is it's gonna annihilate the Ukrainians. It'll annihilate like other people, but it'll be far away from America and it'll be far away from the Jays in Israel. So they know exactly what the fudge they're doing, man. Anything else you want to add? I appreciate you having me up here, my friend. Thank you. I do got to
Eric,
get going very soon.
how much more time can you give us? Because there are pile of questions, but I'm trying to be specific to certain questions that we do not ask on the panel or you on your panels.
I got a few more minutes, and that's about it because it's 12:39 a.m. for me right now, past midnight.
Yeah, it's 9:39. So that means we have 20 more minutes. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask. You can put a comment. So the narrative, you know, the propaganda which comes across, it's through media, social media, how, you know, that they create it, prepare it, and then just spew the lies, right? So
Yeah.
how can we as a human beings be conscious and smart and intelligent to not to buy those propaganda? What is the technique or steps you can advise us so we can differentiate about what is coming?
Social media, use different sources of information. Listen to the same story from other media sources. Don't just trust in Zio Media. Thank God we have like Al Jazeera. Thank God we have like freaking Tucker Carlson. Thank God we have all these different news outlets to give us the freaking truth, man. Well, you know, just listen to all sides. Listen to all sides. It's not, there's no longer a Zio monopoly on our media anymore. We can spread it all the way out. My friend, I do not have 20 more minutes. I only have a few more minutes to spend here, my
Okay,
friend.
no problem. Few more minutes. Okay, when an occupying state is labels resistance as terrorism, what does international law actually say about it?
All right, guys, you want to know the truth about international or any law? You just look at the laws here in America. Laws are on a routine basis, followed or not followed, based on the politics. Okay, and they'll reinterpret laws. Here, you want an example? The Constitution says you have the right to bear arms. Go ahead and try and walk down the street trying to bear arms in the middle of your city. Fuck no. You can't go to court and be like, you're under arrest for possession of a firearm. You can't be like, whoa, the Constitution says I have the right to bear arms. There's no Constitution. And they'll reinterpret laws whichever way they want. They'll quote the same constitutional right and say, this is the reason why immigration is allowed. And then they'll say, this is the same reason why immigration is not allowed. It's all because however you want to reinterpret it. There is no law. It's like a loose guidelines that you could follow or not. Same thing with international law. The only time they ever enforce international law is on the weaker countries that they have the ability to enforce it on. Real politics, evil falls upon those least able to defend themselves, and that's the sad truth. The international law is not going to be forced on Vladimir Putin. International law is not going to be forced on Kim Jong-un of North Korea. There is no international law. I mean, it's whatever the fuck you can get away with. How big is your army? That's your international law. Do you have nuclear weapons? All right, now international law, it doesn't apply to you. That's real politics, guys. It's sad truth. Laws of nature sucks. We have to really try to create a system in which we bring the laws of nature to coincide as best as we can with the laws of morality. But sometimes they're two opposite things. Laws of morality says like it's a merit-based system. Who can do more good? That's who gets the better. Laws of nature. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Who's got the bigger army? So we try and mesh both. We want the good guys to have the biggest army. And being good, being right doesn't make you a winner. Sad truth. History shows the bad guys winning a lot of stuff in history books, and that's a sad fact. Just because you're right doesn't mean you're going to win. Good guys don't always win. So we have to always try and fight harder. Fight harder, fight harder, fight harder.
Last two questions. Eric, can a Palestinian resistance only be through arms, or can it also be effective on intellectual and diplomatic fronts?
All fronts. You have to hit them with all fronts. You need lawyers, you need scholars to debate, you need protesters, you need guns, you need everything. You need it on all sides. And you never know, because that's how you topple shit. It's not just gonna be one. And you never know which one's gonna be the one that finally topples the damn thing, man. The you know where the fucking Soviet Empire fell? It all fell from a protester in fucking the middle of Poland protesting at a shipyard. He caused a chain reaction to topple the Soviet Empire. A single protester in Poland at a shipyard. I mean, dude, you never know which way it's gonna fucking go. Out of all the gulags, out of all the evil shit that happened in that one empire, yeah, just one protester at a shipyard. Yeah, that's what toppled that. You never know, man. You know. Oh, look at India. The whole out of all the crazy shit that like the British occupation of India, Mahmood Mahatma, sorry, Gandhi. How the hell do you pronounce his first name? Gandhi. Peaceful protesting. I'm gonna walk down to the river and everyone's gonna join me. And that's what freaking ended the damn occupation? Really? Well, you think it'd be like, tons of lawyers or tons of guns? No, peaceful protester, half naked guy, very smart, little tiny glasses. Interesting shit. You never know which way it's going to come. Hit them on all sides. Hit them economically, economics, business, protests, everything.
Eric, can peace ever be achieved if Israel continues to imprison and besiege the Palestinian people?
No, there'll never be peace until Zionism is dead. Just because of their philosophies and everything like that, it makes peace impossible. They believe that they're God's chosen people and they are meant to rule over you. You can't have peace with that.
Lastly, Eric, give us a conclusion. I want you to basically give message to I want you to give message to all the Islamic country, to their leaders. I want you to give a strong message so they can see and hear you in this. And secondly, what is gonna happen after this? Already we are in the middle of the war and it's just a stop over on the Iranian attacks on Israel. So what do you think the future holds for us? So give us your insight, and I want you to give a very strong message to all the leaders of the 80 Islamic countries.
All right. First and foremost, here's the message. Christianity has completely failed by itself to get rid of Zionism for the past 120 years because it's a death sentence to Christians. Muslims have completely failed all by themselves to destroy Zionism. Now that Christians and Muslims are working together, we have had more success in the past year and a half than the past like 30 years combined working by ourselves. By working together, Christians and Muslims, we're having insanely big success. And we even have a lot of Jewish people joining our side too. So they can get rid of that part of their group that makes the rest of their group look bad. And as far as what's the future like? It's a battle for survival. This is a battle for survival. We're going into conflict. Zions win, we don't survive. We need to survive. This is a battle for survival, guys. Battle for survival. So that's the future. Whoever wins will decide the future on this one.
So
if they win, they're going to conquer
the
middle. They're going to conquer the Middle East. They're going to conquer Europe, and they're going to conquer America and Canada and destroy all of it. What's up?
Do you think Iran will attack again?
I think yes. Only because, and I'll remind you, politics is unpredictable. Take everything with, it's hard as fuck to predict any of this shit. So, but I think that is coming again because Israel is always trying to push America and Iran to go to war. And they will attack Iran again. They want this shit to happen. So yeah, I think it's going to head in that direction, sadly.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate your time and your knowledge you spread here. We hope to see you back. We can talk here openly. I was not prepared, but
oh, good, my friend.
I'm honored that you gave us the privilege to bring you on our live show. We hope that together we can stand united and we should pray for peace. What do you think?
I definitely believe so. Lisa in the chat room, Amanda and Karen, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I appreciate you too. And my last words is going to be free Palestine and death to the IDF.
Show us. Hey, do it. Yes, I can put this recording on the YouTube. It will be called Wakhi TV International. You can find me on my YouTube.
Awesome. I'm going to send me a link when you do it. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you having me up here, man.
You're welcome.
Have a good one,
Appreciate.
everybody.
See you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Free Palestine, free Kashmir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.